dead. Season 2, baby.
Yep, Eric is dead.
For those who were like, wow, I wonder what cool new shenanigans they'll have planned for season 2. No, we just killed Eric. That's it. We killed him.
We actually picked him up the other day in our Jeep Grand Cherokee from 1991, and we went on a little trip into the woods. And on that trip, we set up camp, and it was kind of wild. We got into, shenanigans, cooking marshmallows.
Well, first we went to QFC.
Yeah. Well, first we had to stop at QFC for camp food. And then Eric started trying to make fun of our choices in marshmallows. He said, "Why are you choosing the off-brand marshmallow when you're supposed to be choosing?
Jiffy?
Why not the Jiffy Puff?
Why not?
Why not Jet Puffed?" And we're like, "Bro, it's cheaper, and they are marshmallows." And he was really getting on our nerves. He was pulling out his phone. He went World Star. These people are choosing the off-brand marshmallow.
And they started doing the horn,
he started doing the horn, and we had to get rid of him. So we killed him. We hung him in the forest by his feet, and we let him die. By his feet. I said by his feet. By his feet. By his feet.
You won't find him.
Maybe
because he wasn't. No, he
the
wasn't. The
coyotes probably disposed of his body already.
Naturally,
we covered him with baby powder. Yeah, we covered him with baby powder, right? And then he was so comfortable hanging there that he fell asleep. And as he was asleep,
Matthew, can I interrupt?
Yeah.
I already know. I know why we use baby powder, but can you tell the audience just one more why we use the baby powder?
Why do we use it?
Yeah, just. I think they're curious.
I don't know why we use baby powder.
Are you?
I meant to say something along the lines of we slathered him with baby food, so animals would eat
baby powder.
Okay.
But I just started going.
Things started going hazy. We were all crazed with the blood of his body. We didn't know what was going on. We just thought baby powder just felt right.
We meant to use body wash because we're the Bathtime boys.
Whoa, mother!
But we just got baby powder.
It was our calling card. Was just the baby soap.
Yeah.
When you find and it preserves the body too, and the wolves won't want to eat him, so he's just perfectly. It's like the pickle brine. Seth Rogen and pickle brine is the equivalent.
Oh,
but he's hanging by his legs upside down in the forest in the Pacific Northwest.
Shit.
Matthew's talking to his mom.
No,
welcome back to Bathtime Boys season 2.
Wait, how do you mummy someone? What's it called? Mummification. Mummify.
Yeah.
I thought it was a mummy.
Eric's about to wake up in 1,000 years, like Futurama, and become the next Fry. But he was
Yeah, no. We always send our manifesto to the local newspapers and force them to publish it, or we'll
only
strike
the
again.
local ones though, not Washington Post, just ABC 7, what is it?
I don't know.
Middle of nowhere. Channel 7 News.
They're easier to get away with.
Yeah.
Where if you go to Cairo 7.
Cairo 7, Clay Ellum, just in the middle of nowhere. Just 3 people tune in. They're all 80. And when they hear that there's some dude hanging by his legs in the middle of nowhere, covered in baby powder and baby oil, they'll just be like,
I meant to say baby.
Where's the bingo?
They're like, this is the most exciting thing that's happened in weeks.
Death. All right, so season 2. Bathtime Boys. Eric is gone. We told you why. Definitely
it's not because he decided to go into Kenmore for absolutely no reason without telling us, and we thought we had a schedule today.
I don't know what Kenmore is, but that's not where he should be.
It's middle of nowhere. I don't know why he's there, but it's not the podcast.
Just for legal reasons, I was forced into it.
What?
For legal reasons, I was forced to partake in the slaughtering of Eric Olsen.
It wasn't my idea either.
It was none of our ideas. It
just kind of happened.
Grand Cherokee from 1991. It had the instructions written on the glove box.
In the manual, it said so.
Yep. Inside the manual, detailed instructions.
Moving on.
Yep.
I got a comment on the on the promo page, the thing that says Bathtime Boys Podcast Season 2.
Yes. Good job.
It says. From user, it says you didn't even go on a hiatus. What's the need to create a new season?
Well, the hiatus was about 128 hours. We thought that was enough time for us to regroup, regather, and rethink the structure of our podcast. And now here we are, ready to talk about weird toddler things that we have seen or we have done. We are ready. That's the topic of today's podcast. And we're ready to go. We're going to have structure like this every time. We're going to
But the Bathtime Boys podcast season 2, basically the structure is different now. The only difference is that now it's one topic instead of a ton of topics, so it's easier to,
less scatterbrained.
Less scatterbrained, more focused.
Yeah, so this week it'll be Toddler Talk.
Toddler Talk is
okay.
the name of this episode.
The next week, we'll move up a little bit. It'll be
8-year-old talk.
A child chat.
Child chat.
Okay, we don't need to work up by years.
Then we'll go.
We just need to work around.
Then it will be preteen practices.
Okay.
And then
this might get weird.
Teenager discussion with a T. And then
how to register to vote. That's a good one.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we could do that. Or we could do
Step
an episode
1,
of registering to vote in each and every state.
Just kidding.
Please Step vote. 1, do
Please
it.
Vote. That was a joke.
All right, so today we came to the idea that we all have these experiences of us doing our own thing, and all of a sudden a child is acting like it's just a weird interaction. Not like a weird interaction, but something odd happens. Yes. So there are stories to be told. Matthew, you had a very recent one. Would you like to tell it?
Yeah, so I guess we're talking about this mainly because I had quite a strange interaction with like a 6-year-old this morning when I went on a scooter ride. Yeah, it was quite chill. I just went to a park and I sat there on my phone scrolling through the new Instagram Reels because, ooh, baby, that's like TikTok but less boobs. And that's good.
I know you did not just say that.
We don't need as much of that. We just need more memes.
I love that all that's on Instagram Reels right now is just reposts of TikToks because you can just download TikToks from your phone.
Yeah, but at least it's not titty TikToks because no one likes that.
There's some. There's some.
Okay, but they're not like all of them, dude. Honestly, when I was on TikTok, it was bad. But okay, other than that, so I was in this park. I was sitting there on a bench. The bench, I was astounded. It wasn't covered in any sort of bird shit. I was like, that's impossible. This is a park bench.
It beckoned for you.
I was like, yo, I need to sit here. I wasn't planning on sitting down, but I saw it wasn't covered in shit. So I sat on it. It was quite fun. I was like, wow, this is a good bench. Yeah, okay, that's not the story, but like
that's that's it. The bench was beckoning to be sat on, so I sat it on.
Yeah, that's how I
saw
got
bench
to
not
sitting.
covered in untouched by the bird fecal matter.
Pickle
and I had to partake.
Guano.
Alright, continue.
Yeah, so this bench, nice, super good. I was comfy. The scooter was sitting next to me, scooting, not anywhere, just scooting in one position. And,
sedentary scooting.
I was right next to this. The thing was right next to the circular path of the bench. I mean, and there were these families walking around doing family things, and there was a couple like brother and sister riding along in front of their parents on their little tiny bikes with trike wheels, and the parents walked by, and the kid was like kind of behind them, and then he was looking at me. Well, I was on the bench looking at Instagram Reels. I kind of looked up.
Why was he looking at you?
Well, he was like, I don't know. Why was he looking at me?
Did he also
he's like, is that a bench that isn't covered in bird?
Is that the shit?
That's insane. It's like, I need to sit on that.
I know. Maybe
this guy's already here.
He's already here. What do I do?
I just wanted to sit.
There's no other options.
Yeah, there weren't any, dude. That's the only shitless bench in the park. I'm telling you. And this kid, he must have wanted it because he was just looking at me. He was like totally goosenecking whatever. Wait. Wait. No, what's it called when you're in a car and you're looking at like an accident? Is that goosenecking? Rubbernecking? Rubbernecking. That's still weird.
That also doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Just he couldn't take his eyes off it.
He was rubbernecking my ass hard. Okay.
No!
No! Okay.
Please take that out of context, somebody.
Yeah. Okay. 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 Let's just slow this down here. He was looking at me. I wasn't looking at him. I saw him in my peripheral visions. In my upper peripherals looking down at Instagram Reels. And I saw him come to like this weird like inconvenient stop like in front of the bench where I was sitting, and then he kind of like tried to like start pedaling again, but then he kind of just fell over because the bike wasn't going. Yeah, so he was like looking at me. He was like trying to like he was like doing the little like humpy thing.
No.
What? He was trying to
get the bike to start up again.
Going.
Right?
Yeah, he was putting some trying to.
Yeah,
like,
he was trying to like bump it along. He was trying to nudge his bike along.
Just move it along. Yeah.
But it wasn't working. So eventually, he like still looking at me. This whole time, he's got his eyes on me because now I think he's embarrassed. But I'm not sure if little kids can get embarrassed. Do you know if they can?
Yeah, they can.
Do you think so? Because this kid,
like how little? Because like when you're really
6,
really little,
he could talk,
they have like no
probably.
object permanence.
If
and they're just stupid. But like when you're like 6 or 7,
yeah, I would hope
totally
you have
get
object permanence by then. Like if I hold an apple and I move it like behind my like back, and the child's like, ow.
Yeah, he could tell
see,
that.
Then I would be concerned. I would be concerned. I'm like,
I only got object permanence after I was like 12. So
well,
some kids kids
Einstein,
are late bloomers.
Yeah, Einstein didn't talk until he was 3, so that means you're at least like 20 times smarter than Einstein. That's just how math works.
So I guess this kid was still in the phase of figuring out if I was real. Maybe that's why he was looking at me so hard. He was just trying to figure out if I was a person.
Maybe he was scared because since he wasn't looking at his parents anymore, he's like, where did they go? Did they vanish from existence?
His head, they're gone.
And then he sees you and he's trying to figure out like, is that my dad?
Is that father?
Like it doesn't look like it, but he's the only other person I can see. So it's like maybe.
Huh.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And then what?
Okay, so he like eventually just gets off the bike because he was like, this scooting isn't working.
Right, he's got to push.
He's like, it wasn't working, so he got off. He put it upright, then he got back on, and then when he was back on, he like tried to pedal, but it wouldn't go again. It again wouldn't go. What? So eventually he just kept along with the scooting mechanic. And he was just like, this is the best we're gonna get. So he just started scooting away.
The lack of bird on that bench has just taken away all motor function. He just can't move anymore. He's flabbergasted.
Did he still have like the bike peg down or something? And he was just too dumb to put it up?
No, this was a bike with training wheels. So theoretically, he should be able to like just walk it, but it fell over. He managed to make it fall over, which is the funniest part. He managed to lean over and over.
So he had to throw off his own balance.
Yeah, because he was looking at me. He like turned his head left and he fell right. So you know
what?
Yeah.
In like 12 years, this child's gonna find this podcast. And he's like, "Dang it, that's me."
Yeah, this kid.
Ruined.
I just kind of looked at him. Like, I just kind of looked at him at the end of his whole, like, fiddling around with his bike shit. I didn't look at him at all during his, like problems.
But you know it was all going down. It was like you were no longer focused on Instagram at that point. Your attention was fully on that child and what he was doing.
My peripherals was completely on him. I was like, okay, it's kind of weird.
I mean, I really don't want to offend this kid. I don't know, but, like...
just bike better.
Was he like noticeably on the spectrum?
Oh.
I don't know how to answer that. I can't answer that. I can't. I don't know.
I bet it was just one of those things where he just like it was just everything threw him off, from the lack of bird poo on the bench to just Matthew's long physique to like just everything in general, and the child.
So it was just sensory overload.
It was just sensory overload.
Yeah,
the lack of shit on the
his
bench.
brain was developing.
It threw everything out of whack. All the plugs came flying off, and then he just fell over, and that was it.
He threw his body mass over the side of his bike somehow. It was all bad.
Did you see him like beforehand at any time? Because like, is there like a playground at that park?
No, it was just a park with paths, and there was a monument in the middle.
Is there like are there like trees?
Yeah, it was a pine tree area.
Yeah, so
that
maybe
doesn't make sense for Washington,
maybe further
D.C.
further down the path over there that you were not aware of. He was like climbing a tree or something, and then he fell right on his head.
That's a good hypothesis.
On his soft spot, and then he just like it disoriented him so much that he just forgot how to ride a bike.
Yeah, that's a good thought.
With training wheels on it.
So did he, after he fell, did he just get up and keep going, or did he just lay there?
As I said, he scooted away because he couldn't ride it because he was too stunned.
So he just sort of like you know how there are those like training bikes that don't have pedals, and you sort of like
that's what he did.
At what point did he stop staring at you?
Never.
So the bench
he was like in the opposite direction. His head was 180, just watching Matthew.
The bench I was sitting on was kind of in this little cove, this nudge with 2 pine trees on the side. So I didn't have much range of vision left and right on the path. It was more like just what's in front of me. So that's what that. And then once he was out of that, he stopped looking at me. But the path was a dead end. This path, it just goes really long way in one direction. So, and they were going to the dead end part, and I just kept sitting there, and then like 10 minutes later, he came back. He came back.
Was he still scooting?
He came back. He was in front of his parents and his sister that time, but he actually was riding his bike too.
Okay.
And he was looking at me though.
The redemption arc. At least he rode it this time.
He rode it, and I was like looking at him inside. I was kind of like, "Wow, he's going."
Poor kid. He was probably looking at you like, "Did he see? Did he notice?
Did he notice the most embarrassing thing I've ever done in my entire life?"
Yeah, I can't even remember what facial emotions I made. I hope I made nothing at all, but there gotta have been something I like, kind of just like something. It was like the polite, like kind of like smile thing, like it was like, okay, hi, like
maybe that's why he was staring at you, because of your weird plastered Joker grin that you threw at him. Yeah, just like eyes bulging out of your skull.
Me just staring at the home screen of my phone, just like
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good story.
Matthew and I have another one that I'll tell, but Matthew was here for this one. So a couple years ago, Matthew came to Seattle. He flew out because he had like a gargantuan like winter break because he was going to Australia. So then it was this huge break, and so for like 2 weeks you came to Washington, and on like towards the end we took a train down to Portland, and we were just hanging out in Portland for the day, and we went to the Portland Zoo. And we were just walking, and we were checking it out, and there were all sorts of fun stuff.
Did you see monkeys?
We saw monkeys. There were some monkeys. We saw a bear who like peed for like 45 seconds, and we sat there and watched every single second of it.
I remember that.
It was at the very beginning. We walk up, and then right as we get there, this bear on this ledge. He's sitting there, and he's just peeing, and it's just and because of where he's positioned, all the pee is trickling down and creating this stream all the way down the side of this rock.
Piss.
And it was 45 seconds, and it was just like he just let it all out, and it was insane.
Are they like dogs where they stare at you while they do it?
No, he was minding his own business. It would have been really hard to not laugh or just like run away out of fear if he was just staring at you. Just you like that? I'm peeing. But so the real story was after we'd been there for maybe like an hour or a half or so, and we were at the I think it was like a sea otter exhibit, and this we were there on like a Tuesday, so it was like empty.
It was penguins, but
it was it penguins?
I don't know.
It was some sort of water animal in the but
the penguins of Madagascar.
Probably penguins of Madagascar. Rico was there just going crazy on a fish.
Kowalski
analysis. But we were there, and it was a Tuesday, so the only people that were there were like moms and dads with their like small children, like because it would have been like about there was still school, but you know no one was there, and so we were there, we were looking at them, and we kind of walked up, and there was this small child, and they were like a little ways away from their mom watching whatever we were watching, and Matthew and I are sitting there. And we're watching, and all of a sudden we take note of this child try to run back to their parents, and right as they do it, they trip on themselves and go face first into cement. and I was like, oh my god. And the first thing Matthew does, he just says oof really loud. So god, it was embarrassingly loud. He just said oof as this 4-year-old child having the time of their life at the zoo just face plants into the cement. And the first thing, I look at him in absolute terror. I'm like, why did you do that? And then Matthew's like, we gotta go, and he just starts walking away.
We
really
start running
fast.
away.
Matthew
We beeline it out of the zoo. I think we just left.
No, but I mean, it was just like, I'll never forget that. Just this child who
did the child cry?
We didn't even notice we were out of there that fast. Matthew because the second Matthew said oof, 3 seconds later he recognized what he had done and he'd already booked it. And I didn't even notice. I all of a sudden looked over to my left and he was like halfway out of that exhibit. And I was like, oh my god, I don't want to be here on my own with this mob.
Okay. I haven't.
And so I start quickly
so
following behind him.
Myself before.
It was insane.
I've fallen on my ass in Universal Studios on Heelys. And that wasn't even as embarrassing.
How old were you?
17.
Okay. I was just gonna say, was this like yesterday?
Yeah, it's a power move at this point.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't think I have any cool stories like that. Because I was, I don't know. I have some stories of me when I was a toddler.
Ooh. You have a good one? A funny hee-hee?
No. They're not funny, but like, I mean, I used to eat dirt.
Nice.
That's a good one.
I don't remember a lot.
Do you think like the percentage of American children, like, do you think the percentage of American children who ate dirt as like a kid is like higher than other countries? Like, do you think like it's like, what if it was like 25% in America, but only like 10 in like Britain? And it was like, that's considerably higher.
You know,
that would be really weird if the U.S. was like #1 though, because we're just like
we're #1 at everything. So it's
McDonald's
like, I mean,
loving idiots.
Yeah, it would make sense if we were #1 at eating dirt.
Do you think like other countries eat other things other than dirt?
Yes. No. Japan only eats dirt. That's the only thing.
Japan eats like flowers or something.
Yeah, I heard in France they eat like sand, but like that really fine granulated sand that's
to
like
the point you can like drink
really
it. Yeah.
beach
yeah.
sand.
Yeah. Some people like to heat it up and eat glass.
They really like to heat it up.
Okay. Yep, they do that.
I don't know.
Glass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was another thing that happened to me. One time I was at a public restroom. I think I was at like an outlet mall or something.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it was a pretty big restroom. Like usually, men's restrooms have just like a big urinal, a small one, and then like 2 stalls, and then 4 sinks. Where this one, it was like on one side of the wall, it was just like all urinals. There was like 6 big ones and then 1 small one at the very end. And then on the opposite side, it was just all stalls. And I was there doing my business, number 1, and
nice.
5.
Number 5.
No, but I
1.5.
like,
oh
no, number 2.15.
2.15. Nice. I like that. That's a good update, bro.
No, I was there, and I was like, I don't know, I was on like the 3rd stall from the end, so like I wasn't in the middle. But I wasn't on the end either.
Right, you were just
and there was like no one else there.
Uh-huh.
And then this kid comes in with his dad. This kid's probably like 6 years old. And his dad, he goes into like one of the stalls, and his son, I guess he just had to pee, so he went over to the urinals.
Oh god.
And the small one was right directly in front of him, and I was like 4 stalls down, and this kid, he's like 2 feet shorter than me, goes and walks from the small stall all the way over to the big stall where I am, like right next to mine.
The big urinal or stall?
Yeah, like the big urinal.
Oh, okay.
Like like the bottom of the urinal is like at his belly button.
What's he gonna do?
Like he had to like stand up on his tippy toes, and the worst thing about it was he
like do Spider-Man on the walls of the urinal. He's like
the little barriers. He like sticks himself to it.
And then he goes and he pulls down his pants and his underwear.
Nice.
Because he wasn't at that age yet where you get bullied for doing that, and then you're like, oh, that's not okay. I shouldn't do that anymore. He hadn't gotten bullied for that yet. So he just drops trow right next to me. And I'm like, whoa. So I look at him like, oh, this is weird. And then he looks up at me, and he's not even like peeved about it. He doesn't see anything wrong.
He's not faced with at all.
Yeah,
he's like,
just nothing. Just he was an empty husk. Just
meanwhile,
and like
a husk.
I was so scared for some reason. I don't know.
You were
like
frightened.
It felt like such a power.
No.
It felt like such a power move. Like, is he gonna try to beat me up or something? Like. It scared me, and so I finished, and then I went and washed my hands, and that was it. But it was just really odd.
Yeah,
it's a life-changing experience.
That just makes me wonder how many kids like that are 6-year-olds right now and peeing like that, like aren't gonna get bullied for another like 2 years because COVID.
That's true.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna be like, rolling up to middle school with their pants all the way down.
Yeah.
No, and then like I wonder what was going through his mind, because like to me it was like malicious intent. Like I was like I said, I was scared, but like when I was like 6 or 7, I didn't think of anything. Like all I thought of was just like eating Play-Doh and like pee pee poo poo. I want goldfish crackers.
As one does.
But Facts. I don't know what must have been going through his mind. I don't know if he had like one too many vitamin gummies or something.
The Flintstones.
Yeah.
You know,
there's mine.
That is a weird one. He could have been meddling in something like dubious, dude.
Yeah, I know. He could have been like on heroin.
I don't know about that. Maybe he's still like riding on the residual crack baby vibes or something.
Crack baby.
Like the crack that he inherited in his blood when he was born.
I don't know. Like his dad seemed like decent. He wasn't wearing like trailer trash clothes or anything, so I don't think he would be like a heroin baby.
You can still be a crack baby, and your parents are like billionaires, dude.
True.
Really? Do you know any?
No. I mean, I'm saying you could though. I'm just saying.
Theoretically speaking, it's possible.
I don't know. It's weird, but it wasn't even like it was like a pretty nice mall too.
I love that.
So I don't think there would be like anything shady going on there that they would give drugs to children.
Yeah, I sure hope drug dealing at children's ages.
I love that places. That'll forever take up a portion of your mind. Just the fact that this child just.
He recently got a Build-A-Bear. Maybe he did that, and there was like, you know.
I probably failed a geometry test because I was thinking about this kid's bare ass rather than like some stupid formula I was supposed to remember.
You're like freaking Pythagorean.
Just imagine how much of a power move if you could pull it off. You just walk into a stall and there's like one other person. You go right next to him, and as like an adult, you just pull down your pants all the way, and you just stare at him and you say howdy, and then just pee.
Is that illegal? I feel like pulling your pants down all the way like that's
well,
illegal.
It's not. It's if it was like a locker room, it's not. So I don't know. Is it? I don't think it is.
I don't think it is. How do they?
What can you do in a bathroom?
How would they get after you for it? There's no cameras in bathrooms.
Yeah, but like people could be like, "Yo, he just full on pulled his like booty out in the bathroom."
Could you report someone for it?
All right, we're looking.
Is that what you sign up for when going in public restrooms? Like someone could just be standing like that.
Illegal to be naked.
I don't think.
No, not naked. Just
I don't
like
think you can snitch on someone for being double cheeked up in a restroom, in a public restroom.
In general, indecent exposure is a misdemeanor in the state of Washington. However, if the victim is under age 14, the crime is considered
what's
gross.
Indecent exposure then?
What?
Like
if they're
in
under 14,
does it count?
Then it's not. But I guess if they're over 14, I don't know about bathrooms.
I wonder if it's like if someone feels like it's malicious, like your butt out thing.
Oh no! It says bathrooms do not fit the criteria of indecent exposure laws.
Shit.
So I could hypothetically, walk
you totally could.
A public restroom.
That's a
and
problem.
Just flop my
because according to Reddit user Tikno
and
with
just
7
walk
points,
around.
Yeah, you could I gotta go pee. They're saying the logic behind it is that you're using the pee to pee, and as long as you're using it for the purpose of bathroom.
What if you're like standing in the doorway, just butt out, and everyone's just trying to? They have to go
you're
around
technically
you
in the restroom.
Like you're not trying to like assault them or anything, but like what if you're just trying to be like as obnoxious as possible?
I don't know. I think I would assume they're either A, being an asshole, or B, they had a serious accident. And
I had an accident. They're like, I need new pants.
Yeah.
Can someone get me backup undies?
Here's an article. It says 5 things you can do in a public restroom. I have no clue what this article contains. It says 5 things you can do. The first one is write on the walls.
No, you
can't.
It says this is an
it's like, what is that? What's that?
Isn't
thing?
that vandalism?
Vandalism.
It's entry-level vandalism and will most likely never result in a misdemeanor. So.
Most likely.
Okay.
What?
Most.
Most likely.
Number 2 says cry.
Okay.
Number 3 says
that's
have
a given.
sex.
Everybody cries in the bathroom at least once.
Number 4 says have a secret phone conversation, and number 5 says do drugs. This article is insane.
I don't think this article is accurate.
Wrote this?
I don't know. I'm not.
I think
Did
this
I
is
write
fake
that?
news.
You might have.
I think this is a fake news. I was taught how to spot this. And this is one of them.
Okay.
Incorrect. Yep.
Well, we're at a half hour in.
Good job.
Are we saying
that's cool?
Read.
Are we saying do we want to keep going, or do we want to say we're done, or what's going on?
I think
I'm good.
I think we figured out the wonderful toddler stories.
Yeah.
And we've also figured out
I just want to ask this one last thing. Have any of you, either of you, ever peed underneath the air dryer while it's on?
Not even close.
No.
Why would I ever do that?
Okay, never mind.
You
Bathtime boys.
What happens when you pee under it? Where's your
It just
pee
goes everywhere.
It just goes.
That's it.
It doesn't. You're saying the air doesn't just curve it. It just goes crazy.
Yeah, it just
Okay,
it's like a spoon underneath the sink.
No.
While you're washing dishes.
Well, I've always thought that. How there's sometimes you can twist the nozzle to see where the air goes on those air dryers. If you twisted it to the left, towards the sink, and you peed, if it was strong enough, it would push it into the sink.
Alright, Bathtime Boys Season 2.
I wonder if you could.
Start.
You know the ones where you put the hands in the top.
I saw somebody.
It said piss underneath that, so the next person puts their hands.
Alright, we still talking about piss.
Yeah. No, I think the most optimal one is probably just the ones that the gentle stream of air. Because then it wouldn't go everywhere, and it's just sort of
what are they called? Dyson? Dyson?
Yeah, the Dyson air out. Yeah. Alternatively, the toilet, but that's not as fun.
Or if you could open the paper towel dispenser and just soak all of the paper towels in there with piss, and then
I mean, that's
wait till it. Okay.